This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. The weekend is here, 4 games on tap. The Cincinnati Reds, the St. Louis Cardinals, game 2 of their 5-game set from Busch Stadium. And welcome to the broadcast booth at Busch Stadium. That's the Cardinals Hall of Famer, Jim Edmonds. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Alexa Dat is with us as well. We know the chase of 700. We know Goldie going for a triple crown. The Cardinals looking for a Central Division crown. But, Jimmy, what gets overlooked maybe with all the hoopla around some individuals is the fact that the Cardinals can really play some deep. Well,
the important part is you got to have something else other than relying on your hitting and sometimes even your pitching. And if your pitching's good, you're going to need the defense, and I don't know if there's a better team in this league, to be honest with you. You can have the stats all you want, but when it comes down to it, these guys can really play defense.
Saw Dylan Carlson left, center, right. Nootbaar, another outfield assist last night. Key play in the game, but the Cardinals came up short. So that's a look at defense, but also generating offense. How about stolen bases?
I mean, they are right there at the top, and they got a couple guys that can run at will. If they have a pitcher on the mound with slow, they're going to run, and then sometimes they're invisible, like that right there with the Audi. But they have all facets of the game, and if they play pretty well, they're going to win baseball games.
Starting pitching, it always begins with the starters. Taking a look at those guys coming up. Jack Flaherty is on the mound tonight. Reds and Cardinals coming up on Bally Sports.
You see Jordan Kyrou, he got a nice little contract. There's Ivan Barbashev as well. As the boys in blue will start training camp coming up next Thursday, but they're at the ball yard to back the Birds as they get set to take on the Reds in game 2 of the 5-game set. From our Ballpark Village studios, Brad Thompson and Scott Warman with you. Jack Flaherty getting the start in game 2 tonight for the Redbirds. And for the starting rotation, Brad Thompson, this is very critical for this ball club to have success moving forward to the end of the season and into the postseason. When we look at their surge, especially in the second half and in August, it really was the starting rotation that led things.
It was for sure, and it was a couple of key moves. They go out and acquire Montgomery, bring in Quintana, and both of those guys have really steadied the ship. And I thought you laid it out perfectly, Scotty. When it comes postseason time, what matters? Starting pitching and defense. You better have both of those things. And you got a lot of guys that are eating up some innings for you. Certainly you'd like to see Jack eat up some more innings. Miles Michaelis knocking on the door of 200 innings. It was a goal that he had in spring training. He had 9 starts in the last 2 years combined. What he's doing this year has been special.
And it is Jack Flaherty getting the start tonight. But the first pitch, Jordan Binnington with the Pujols jersey. I like it, Benner. We'll go around the league when we come back on Bally Sports. That's a ball. Come on. Give him some help, BT. 5-game set this weekend in Cleveland between the Twins and the Guardians. Minnesota get on the board first. Jose Miranda with an RBI single to make it 1-0 in the top half of the third. Twins would add 2 more in the fourth as they play in the bottom of the fourth right now in Cleveland. Minnesota has the 3-0 lead over the Guardians. There's Vladdy Tarasenko and his family at the yard with a Yadier Molina jersey. More on Jack Flaherty when we come back on Bally Sports.
It is sold out for game number 2 of this 5-game series. It's the Reds and Cardinals. Jack Flaherty gets the call tonight for St. Louis. It'll be his 6th start of the season and his 99th career appearance. 2 starts since returning from the IL, up and down at times. His last game did not record a strikeout. Keep that in mind. And he'll see if he can change that tonight against the Cincinnati Reds. It's the Reds. It's the Cardinals. Friday night baseball from Busch Stadium in a packed house. Baseball comes your way next. Is brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. By Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. And by CarShield. CarShield cars. Go farther. Jordan Binnington, one of the heroes of the Stanley Cup run of the St. Louis Blues. And the goaltender back for another season, throwing out our ceremonial first pitch. Beautiful night here in St. Louis. Game 2 of the 5-game series. The Cincinnati Reds, the St. Louis Cardinals. It is 80 degrees. And with the Cardinals Hall of Famer Jim Edmonds, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Alexa Dat is with us as well. What a beautiful night, huh?
It is a beautiful night. I love the heat. Can't beat that. It's not too hot. You don't want to play in the cold. It's a beautiful day for baseball. And I don't know who's going to say we might see a home run or two tonight.
Let's
Hopefully
hope.
from number 5.
The Cardinals last night managed just 3 hits in the loss, including 1 in the first 8 innings. We'll see if that changes. And Jack Flaherty is on the mound tonight for St. Louis.
I can promise you one thing. We will not see a duplicate of last night's offense. I have a feeling.
Is that right?
I have a feeling.
All right. We'll see how it plays out.
It can't go downhill any more than that, so we're going to have to get better.
It was a disappointing night, and now it's game number 2, so turn the page. Jack Flaherty making his 6th start of the year, his 3rd since returning from his latest IL stint. Had a no decision on Saturday in Pittsburgh. Gave up 3 runs, couple of homers, 5 innings. What was an eventual 7-5 St. Louis win. And the Hyundai pitch arsenal.
You see right there, Jack has just got to be Jack tonight. He's got to throw strikes, and whatever the fastball is going to be, it's the sinker, usually the 4-seamer. He has to keep the ball down. He's one of those guys, when he's down, you know right away, because he's down in that lower outside quadrant to the right-handed hitters, and if he's commanding that, that means he's on. They're going to have a lot of trouble.
And the 27-year-old rookie, TJ Friedl, at the top of the lineup. And then it's Jonathan India, Kyle Farmer, Jake Fraley, Donovan Solano, Aristides Aquino hit a home run last night. Nick Senzel, Spencer Steer, and Austin Romine, the former Cardinal and Angel this season. David Bell and the Cincinnati Reds. It's been a tough year. Only 28 wins on the road. They are 57-86 overall. 26.5 games out in the Central, starting play tonight. Well, Frieda was all over the place last night. Had a diving catch, you may recall, to Rob Arenado. And then he started that perfect 7-6-2 put out at the plate. Goldie had an RBI double that would have tied the game. And really, that was the key play in the ball game defensively, turned by the Cincinnati Reds. Ali Marmol and the Cardinals playing in game number 145 tonight, and 24 games above the 500 mark. So here we go. Shift on the right side, and the first pitch this Friday night is taken, and it's low. So Friedl was called up August 16th, and in 27 games he's driven in 15. He's hit .315 and drives it out to right field. Going back to make the catch, Lars Nootbaar. Cardinals defensively, Nootbaar another outfield assist last night, gunning down a runner trying to score. O'Neill in center, Dickerson is in left. Around the horn, presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Arenado, Edman, Donovan, Goldie on the infield. Andrew Kisner getting the start behind the plate. Last start for Jack Flaherty, it was only the 2nd time in his career as a starter he did not strike out a batter. In that start, you would see the Pirates just lay off that slider, which is a devastating pitch because he struggled locating the fastball, Jimmy. And when you do that, you have a lack of fastball location. It can mean problems, and it was in that start.
Well, you can see right there, he's already pretty good at getting the ball down. He's even been down on the misses. So when you can do that, and that ball for him, the 4-seamer will stay there. The sinker obviously will run down. When that 4-seam stays in that bottom corner there, they have to chase the slider because it looks exactly the same.
And the 1-1 lifted out to left center. Tyler O'Neill under it. Jonathan India out number 2. Jim Edmonds, Toyota, key to the game.
Well, I think it's just tonight, Jack be Jack. I mean, not Jack in the box, but Jack Flaherty. He needs to go out there and establish his fastball, be better with the strike zone, and if he does that, he's going to get some length. He's going to get through this game and hopefully give the offense a charge. And this this fan base a charge because they've been waiting for him to come back and pitch well, and it should be an exciting night if he can keep the ball around the strike zone.
Here is Kyle Farmer, and the Cardinals need to see what they have here in under 3 weeks before postseason play, and is Flaherty in that rotation?
Well, he's already a lot better now than he was the last time out, and it's just in that, like I said, everything is down. I've never seen a guy when he's good be so down at the bottom edge of the strike zone, and when he's bad, he's still down there, and that's why he's been so good. And you said something about him not being able to strike out anybody in his last start, and that's pretty surprising because I know early on in his career he's in the top of an elite group of guys for strikeouts early on in the career. So you could just, that right there will tell you that he wasn't sharp. And like you said, Danny, if you don't establish the fastball, they don't chase the slider, what else have you, but you can see that fastball already around the zone, and that's a good thing.
And a 1-2 pitch to Kyle Farmer. Swing and a miss and a strikeout. 95 elevated from Jack Flaherty, and a 1-2-3. Cardinals coming up in the home half of the first in this big crowd on a Friday night at Busch. Lineup then Tommy Edman, Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado, Corey Dickerson, the DH, Albert Pujols, Lars Nootbaar, Tyler O'Neill, and Andrew Kisner. It was Donovan who started that late rally in the 9th inning last night against the shift. And this is such an interesting story. Fernando Cruz, a former shortstop, then catcher, now pitcher. So many years, over a decade in the minor leagues. And the Hyundai pitch arsenal. And the first pitch. He was originally drafted 6th round in 07, shortstop by Kansas City. Moved from the infield to catcher in 2010, then moved to the mound in 11, released by KC, signed by the Cubs, released by Chicago before the start of 2016. Then it gets interesting.
Oh boy.
He would spend the next 6+ seasons playing in 14 different leagues. Mexico, 5 different countries. So from the draft to his major league debut, it was 15+ years. It's awesome. I love seeing guys that stick around, find a way, and somehow make it to the big leagues. It's great.
I'll tell you what, that is perseverance at its finest, and I bet you he picked up some good tips along the way, man. He played that many different areas with that many different guys. Man, that's incredible. What's this? Is his 7th game pitching in the big leagues. How about the split right here? Pretty good pitch.
He'll shape a breaking ball all kinds of ways. He'll dot it in, out. The swing and a miss by Donovan, and the first strikeout. Here's Tommy Edman. So he debuted for Cincinnati at the age of 32 years old, 158 days. Oldest Reds debut since 1956.
Not bad, Danny. You just said it. Drafted in 2007. Debuted in the big leagues 2022.
Amazing.
Wow.
And the 0-1 pitch.
Wow, that's a nasty split.
Jimmy, prior to this season, he last pitched for a major league affiliated team in 2015. It was with Chicago. Then he went independent ball, Puerto Rico, the Mexican League, Dominican Winter League. He said, I never lost faith. Neither did his wife. And his agent, he said, Hector Gomez, said, hey, keep doing it. If you want to do it, we'll do it. They say also he is the happiest major leaguer you will ever run into.
I can imagine.
He could give up 20 runs tonight, throw a no-hitter, he'll still be smiling. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back Ks. Aquino in right. Big arm that we saw last night. Around the horn, presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Center. Senzel in center. Friedel in left. Steer, Farmer, India, Solano along the infield. Romine is behind the plate.
Then Fernando Cruz at 990 minor league at bats. Almost 1,000 at bats as a position player.
It's amazing. I say it all the time. We love stories like this.
It's incredible.
And a shift for Goldie. And it's 0-2. 14 games against Cincinnati this year. 5 home runs, and he's driven in 14. And an 0-2 pitch to Paul Goldschmidt. He strikes out the side here in the first inning. Jack Flaherty on the mound tonight for St. Louis, and we check in with Alexa Dad.
What you got, Dad?
Hi, Dan and Jim. As we know, Jack Flaherty making his 3rd start this season since coming off his 2nd IL stint. Caught up with pitching coach Mike Maddox today about what his expectations are for Jack Flaherty. Maddox mentioned Jack got better as he went last outing, and Maddox would like to see Jack start off where he last left off, which is filling up the zone early, getting ahead in the count, and using those weapons to get guys out quick. When I caught up with manager Ali Marmol, he wants Jack to continue to attack the zone and to be more consistent with commanding the fastball to both sides of the plate, especially running it in on lefties. Last outing was a step in the right direction, Dan. They're going to look for more of that tonight.
All right, Alexa, thank you. Jack Flaherty, 4th in the National League Cy Young Award in 2019, and he was striking out about 11 per 9. That has dropped by 2, but it's been limited. The 0-2 pitch is in the dirt, and it's 1-2 on Jake Fraley.
You know what I like when I'm watching right here? He looks very calm. He had a start early on, or he was throwing at some point, and he just everything kind of got rushed. And he couldn't slow himself down. Well, he looks a lot smoother, a lot slower.
I agree.
And he's going to lose mechanics at times like that. But you can see right there, he realizes right away. He's not like getting 7-8 pitches past and then coming off the mound going, what happened there? He knows his shoulder flies right there, so he's going to make an adjustment. You see how he kind of falls off and flips at it? That's going to happen. And he just has to regroup and keep his balance and get the ball back down like he was earlier. That's the problem, though. You start feeling better and better. You try to let it fly. You know, you got that strikeout 95 up. You got to get back to the command and use that only when you need it.
3-2 the count. Top of the second here at Busch Stadium. A sold-out crowd here tonight. 3-2 pitch.
That's what he needed right there. That was probably the 3rd attempt to trying to get a pitch inside to a lefty right there, and he finally got it, and he got it to stay pretty straight. You don't want that ball to run back over the plate. This guy will battle you right here.
3-2. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back Ks for Flaherty. 2nd of the night. 4 up and 4 down to start tonight.
This is all set up by the pitch before, and so now he speeds up a little bit, and there's that slider, and you don't see that typical dot on Jack's slider. It's more of just like a pitch that's going to get up there and die. You don't see like the spin with the big break. It's kind of a late breaking slider. This is why he gets a lot of swings and misses on it, because it kind of gets in there and then the bottom falls out late.
That matches what has been 14 walks since he's come back. That's off the plate to Solano. So this season now 19 innings, 14 walks, and now 14 strikeouts. And the 1-0 pitch to Solano.
I really like what I see right here. I've never seen him do this. You see him kind of moving his body around after each pitch. I'm like, okay, that's not right. Okay, see right there. I want to get it over here. When he struggles a little bit, he just goes and the game gets really fast on him. A lot of guys do that, but here he's making sure he makes adjustments pitch by pitch.
What about the difference, Jimmy, of also being able to pitch with nobody on, so not working out of the stretch?
Yeah, not yet, and that's good with the mechanics and good with the momentum. I think I'm always in shock when guys give up on the windup. I feel like you just get a little bit momentum, but up here, this level is all about location and maybe a little bit less about generating a little bit more velocity with and getting wild. So it makes sense. You can see he's kind of just feeling his way through. See, his body language isn't great, but he's staying on top of the ball, and that's all that matters.
Think about Jordan Montgomery, not a windup at all. Corbin Burns, very simple delivery we saw the other night. And the 2-2 pitch. Fly ball out to deep right center, backing up. O'Neill with room to make the catch. College students, bring your Cardinals back to school with you this September. MLB.TV. Receive a free subscription to MLB.TV when you attend a game. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. So Yachty wanted to play Roberto Clemente Day, did so last night. Doubleheader tomorrow. He is scheduled to catch in game one. Pujols is scheduled to play in game one if you're thinking about coming down here, because Minor, the lefty, will be on the mound. And Dakota Hudson scheduled to pitch, according to Ollie in his office today, in game one. Raver San Martin, a lefty, getting loose in the bullpen for the Reds. And a swing and a miss. Justin Dunn, originally scheduled to start tonight, but he's been put on the IL. And called up has been Rhinel Espinal, and he could be a bulk innings pitcher tonight. We'll see how it all plays out for David Bell.
Got to be careful with the slider here. Last night he had 2 balls off speed pitches pretty well, but chased a lot of fastballs.
Swing and a miss. 96 with a little cut. That man due up third when we come back. And Bally Sports Midwest teaming up to recognize people and places pitching in to make a difference in the community. And tonight we salute local nonprofit Perennial, eco-friendly maker space located in South City. Thank you, Perennial, for pitching in. There's Nolan Arenado, a modest 5-game hitting streak. The home run over his last 5 games. In the second inning for Fernando Cruz, who struck out the side. 11 pitches, 10 strikes. He looked good.
Well, he's got that arm slot down. Everything comes out of that same arm slot. The fact you can't tell even from up here until the ball gets halfway if it's fastball, slider, or split. Kind of slings it a little bit. So far, so good.
And the 2-0. Lifted in the air out to shallow center. Nick Senzel coming on to make the catch. There's Corey Dickerson hitting .384 since the All-Star break. I asked Ali today, I said, what is going on with Dickerson? What's the difference in him? Swinging with a purpose, swinging to do damage. He said, you know, you watch him, he's going to put the ball in play. He's not going to strike out very often, but he said, I'm looking for damage. We'll do it. And then it started.
He looked like he was feeling his way through it at the beginning of the year. And you know, you mentioned it a bunch where you get on a team and you think you got a spot to play, and all of a sudden you're a bench player and you don't really know your role and not used to trying to figure out how to get ready, and you're in a different place to get ready. So started playing a little bit more, and the swing changed, and you're right, he started swinging the bat a little bit harder, a little bit better. Bat speed improved, and I mean 294 is down in the 170s. Pretty impressive turnaround.
So you get 2 strikes that he'll let it rip, and then that third offering will be more of a try to put it in play, not strike out.
I felt like at the beginning of the year he just really didn't know what he wanted to do. You know, it was almost like a rookie coming up.
He's in between.
Yeah, a rookie coming up and not really seeing pitchers before like this. And you're right, he was in between a little bit, and then all of a sudden it just switched.
Pretty big cut right there.
I'm telling you, that's as good as a split finger fastball we've seen all year. Arm action, the ball comes out and then goes down. It doesn't have a big droop.
Mentioned the huge numbers that Dickerson has had in his career against the Reds. His average in his career is .348, over 1,000 OPS. On base plus slug. This right-hander had 51 games at AAA Louisville this year. Pitching in his 7th game in the big leagues. Pitched 3 days ago against Pittsburgh. He started that game with an inning and 2/3. No hits, no runs. On the ground, left side. Nice big hop for Farmer, and it brings in Albert for the first time tonight. So a decade and a half in the minor leagues, you're bouncing around everywhere, and now you get to face the guy that's 4th all-time in home runs. 697. The first pitch. A strike.
And probably your hero growing up.
Probably. 18 games to go in the race to 700. The 0-1 pitch. Albert Pujols in his career against the Reds, 48 home runs, a .337 average in over 700 at bats. Big crowd ready to see history. And the 1-1. A ball and 2 strikes. Cruz has retired. The last 18 he has faced, going back to his last 2 appearances and tonight. And the 1-2 pitch. Two and 2. Albert with a sac fly and a run batted in last night. He's driven in a run in his last 5 games. The 2-2. And he hit him. And he's been hit by a pitch in back-to-back games.
Hit him with a split, I think. Gave him a little .5 on the jersey there. It's like a little split, just got away. Well, now you got him a 5 point. That one's going to hurt a little bit.
San Martin will come in and face Lars Nootbaar when we come back. Martin in our Chevy called to the pen. That's the 87th hit by pitch as a Cardinal for Albert Pujols, and that ties Steve Evans for the most in franchise history. It's a lot of bruises.
I was going to say, he doesn't seem like the guy that got hit that much, even though I do remember it.
He get it on the foot
hit
a lot.
underneath too, like
on the like the inside, basically where he got it tonight.
Yeah, right there. He lifts up his hands.
Yep, exactly.
But that many times, that would shock me if I heard that away from the stadium. I would never think that, but yeah, a lot of bruises.
A lot. That's no fun. And here is Nootbaar, San Martin. Strike one. Nootbaar in this homestand, a 452-foot home run, the longest at Busch Stadium here in 2022. This guy's tough on the lefties, hitting just 237. On the year, he's given up 7 home runs, 4 to the righties.
It looks like he's standing in the first base dugout from this camera angle.
Works on that first base side
Way
of the
over
rubber.
there.
I always find that interesting too in a bullpen game with all the different relievers that come out, the landing area of the mound.
Well, I'll tell you what, that mound is, those guys take care of that thing, and that mound is as solid as it gets. There's no more of those big holes like back in the day. That is some solid clay, and you have to have a big guy landing in the same spot for 9 innings for to create a big hole. And you're right, though. Maybe the good news is they're not out there long enough to establish that big hole in the front. Think about it, though. You don't really see that anymore. You remember they were like, guys would go out there and they try to kick a hole and fix their own toe hold, and you don't really see that as much anymore. They've really perfected a way to keep that to a minimum.
And a 2-2 pitch. Nootbaar pops it up on the infield. And now in foul territory, Solano basically on the line and makes the catch. Cardinals strand a runner. Albert hit by a pitch, and we played 2. Don't miss the final home game of the 2022 regular season, Sunday, October 2nd. That day, 25,000 fans ages 16 and older take home a stadium exclusive canvas print. Tickets and more info at cardinals.com/promotions. Final regular season game for Yachty, Albert, potentially Waino. Here's Nick Senzel. Senzel said his goal this year was just to stay healthy, playing about 140 to 150 games. He's done that. He said, now I need to change that goal to produce.
Yeah, you might want to combine those goals.
Former top draft choice. And they've also talked about moving him all over the diamond, too. 2 balls and no strikes. Flaherty has struck out 3, 6 up, 6 down. Pulled foul, and it's a count of 2 balls and 1 strike. I would say he looks way better tonight so far.
Yeah, he looks in control of his body, control of his mechanics, and it's showing up in the strike zone.
2-2. Flaherty at home, 47 games. 44 of those have been starts. 18 and 13 at Busch and a 2.79 ERA. Opponents have only hit 188 against him here at this ballpark. 2-2 pitch and a grounder. That is fair, barehanded, and a high throw in the air on Arenado, his 12th of the season. Could be a base hit and a throwing error. We'll see how they want to rule it.
This is no man's land for Nolan, and to be honest with you, he throws that ball down, he still might have him out.
So the single and the air on Nolan Arenado puts a man in scoring position, and the 8th place batter is Spencer Steer. Hitting .250 with a home run, and it's driven in 4. Had 7 hits in his last 6 games. And a slider off the plate. So first time that Flaherty now working from the stretch.
I think we might have lost pitch calm.
Kisner has to get it back on the guard.
Regroup.
And the 1-0 pitch by Flaherty. Inside. 2 balls and no strikes.
This is what you were talking about. First time out of the stretch. So now everything has to start over, right? You have to start with your mechanics, out of the stretch, your balance.
Next by Flaherty. Missed in. Home plate umpire tonight. Charlie Ramos, Brian Onora at first, Chad Fairchild at second, and congratulations to Laz Diaz umpiring his 3,000th game here tonight. Crew chief.
Wow.
Good guy
There
too.
he is.
I'm not messing with him.
Tell you what, the very first time I heard him speak Spanish, I almost fell over. It just doesn't seem like that. And he started talking to Albert one day, and I was like, wow, Laz, that's awesome. And I just didn't put 2 and 2 together. But you're right, such a nice guy and such a tough looking dude.
Military background. We had one of our troops nights, and he was behind the plate, I believe, that night. And I went down and talked to him, and he told me about his military background. He has served our country, and he was very proud to be working the game that night. Good guy. This is Austin Romine. I think the last triple play the Cardinals turned was in Toronto, maybe 7 or 8 years ago. As Romine is showing bunt, offered at it, and that's a strike.
I wonder what would have happened if he had actually made contact with that. So far, they haven't been the best looking bunting team the last 2 nights.
Well, last night it was Friedel on an 0-2 pitch, trying to bunt to start the game, and looked at a called third strike. Cardinals have turned 140 ground ball double plays. And the 0-1 pitch with the corners in. Take it for a ball. Romine with 10 career sacrifices, 1 this year. And the 1-1 pitch by Flaherty. Romine bunts it in the air and foul. The Reds with runners in scoring position this season, 5th best average, 271. They were 0 for 6 last night, but still picked up the victory. And Flaherty wants a new baseball and throws that out. And the 1-2 pitch. Flaherty to Romine, swinging this time and lined foul. Another 1-2 pitch. Missed in, 2-2.
It's a good pitch though, right there with the sinker. Not really happy with the baseballs.
A lot of times you see that when you're on the road, not necessarily at home.
KT might take some heat tonight. Actually, the umpires will rub up the balls as much as the home team, but there's a little bit of mix and match because they do go through so many baseballs.
We'll throw that baseball out. Jack looking at that one. Now 3-2. Inning started with an infield hit by Senzel. Steer, the walk, and the 9th place batter Romine is worth the count to 3-2. The next by Flaherty. Swing and a miss, struck him out. 4 strikeouts tonight for Flaherty, first time through the lineup. And while we have a moment, quick word from Siteman Cancer Center.
You are someone's favorite person, and your health matters. For the lives you touch, schedule your cancer screening today.
Runners at first and second. T.J. Friedel flied to right field, first time up. First pitch, slider down. Really the key of the game started by Friedel in last night's game, and the relay to the plate executed to perfection by Cincinnati. Swinging a hot bat coming into play. The 1-0 pitch by Flaherty.
Tell you what,
Foul.
last night he had one heck of a night though. He about beat himself up about as much as you could beat somebody up on. Beat yourself up. This is early in the game. Right in the glove, but bouncing off the wall. Here, a little twisted wrist and slide on the shoulder.
Robbed Arenado.
And then foul ball off the knee. It's a long night for him right there.
And back in there for game 2 of the series. And the 1-1 pitch. Way inside. Picked by Kisner. 2-1. Friedel with men on is grounded into 3 double plays, and they're going to say that that hit him. Must have gotten the back foot. Yeah, looked like it may have.
Just enough.
And now the base is loaded for Jonathan India.
Just trying to give him another bruise.
So base is loaded, 1 out.
You got to admit that was one tough night.
Oh yeah.
For one player.
And then back in there tonight. India does have a grand slam in his career. Fouls that back, and that's strike 1. 313 is average with the bases loaded. Five for 16 in his career in this spot. Flaherty would love the ground ball here and get a double play. Send the Cardinals back on offense. The 0-1. A little bit low. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I mean, clearly you want to keep the ball down for the double play, but each hitter is stronger on one side of the plate than the other. So you have to know, are you going to attack him down and in, or are you going to attack him down and away?
And the 1-1.
Wow. That's a great pitch right there, backed up by another great pitch.
The 2-1. Ground ball left side. Arenado gloves. Safe and safe. Cardinals get nobody. And a run scores. 1-0 Cincinnati.
This is what happens when you play a little bit of the shift. see the runner from first to second is all the way even with Goldie. Doesn't have to worry about getting picked off. Obviously, no back door, and he gets on top of Donovan in a hurry. That's a heck of a turn by Donovan if you think about it. He's right in his face. Just too slow of a developing play.
It brings in Farmer, and it also brings out Mike Maddox with the bases loaded. And Kyle Farmer coming up, and the Reds already with a 1-0 lead after the fielder's choice.
Danny, take a look at this again. Watch how far they allow Friedel to get off first base. This isn't on purpose. It's just because of the shift a little bit. Look where he's at. So he's a third of the way to second base before the ball's put in play. And then such a slow developing play. No chance. And then obviously India can run. So I think your only chance right there is maybe go straight to first base. But you wouldn't really know, I don't think, if you're Nolan, if he was that far off first base or got that good of a jump until it's too late.
And here's Kyle Farmer, bases loaded, and no one out.
It's the same pitch he swung at his last at bat.
Struck out his first time up, hitting .311 with runners in scoring position. With the bases loaded, he does have a grand slam. And the 0-1 ground ball. Arenado steps on the bag, across the diamond, and 2. Cardinals needed that. Midway through 3, and the Reds on top. San Martin in his second inning got the final out of that second inning. Bullpen start tonight. Cruz went an inning and 2/3, struck out 3, hit a man, and now Tyler O'Neill. 8th in the lineup for St. Louis. Then Kisner and Donovan. Arenado turns that double play, starts at 39 ground ball double plays this year, most by a third baseman in all of baseball. And that's his most as a Cardinal he's been a part of. Franchise record is 41. Kenny Boyer, the captain, did that 1958. And Nolan just 2 back. 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander Derek Law throwing in the Reds pen. And a ground ball that is foul.
Kenny Boyer did that back in the day when they were breaking up double plays and throwing people into the outfield.
Right.
I was just thinking about that. I'm like, of course Nolan can throw the ball over there. We talk about it all the time, anytime he wants, because he's not worried about getting his infielders hurt. And back in the day, would you tell me to Google that one day, Hal McRae?
Hal McRae.
There was a couple of times that I'm not really gonna say that there was a slide involved. More of a hip check or a body block or
barreling into him,
or just a shoulder tackle.
It's like if anybody's seen The Naked Gun, the movie. That's what it is.
We need to pull that up on our show. That's awesome. It's like the mad Hungarian running the bases.
You got it. The one base runner the Cardinals have had was Albert Pujols, hit by a pitch. That was the 96th batter hit by a Reds pitcher. And they're 2 shy of the major league record of 98 set by the Cubs last year. They had 98 batters.
Well, that's going to be hard to do. 162 games. You're going to hit 100 guys.
Off the plate, and it's a full count. Kisner on deck, and then Brendan Donovan. First time these two teams have played a 5-game series since 1958 at Old Sportsman's Park, and that's taken for a ball. Cardinals face the Reds Sunday, and 12,000 kids ages 15 and younger entering with a ticket will go home with their very own stadium exclusive Build-A-Bear Workshop Bear. Cardinals.com/promotions. Louis in the house on St. Louis Blues night.
Louis? We talked about Louis or Bluey? I always thought it was Bluey.
That is Louis.
Louis. Ooh, selfies. You don't ever want to be stuck around those guys at a stadium, or you will not get past. Instant crowd.
Yes, sir.
Hockey is right around the corner.
Training camp begins this week.
Isn't it crazy? Just like all of a sudden, just right on top of you. Pow! They're playing.
Kisner out to center. It's well hit. Senzel back. Makes the catch. O'Neill retreating back to the bag at first. The Blues have their prospect camp happening right now, and then training camp begins this week. And with hockey, they basically have a couple of days of practice, conditioning, test guys, and then they're on the ice playing exhibition games.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
We spend 6 weeks trying to get ready for baseball games, and they spend a week of practice time, and they're playing games.
Here's Donovan with Edman on deck.
I'm going to have to say that the beginning of their preseason is a little bit more strenuous than the beginning of our spring training. Just a little bit.
They get after it pretty good. Donovan hitting .293 with runners on this year. It's Tyler O'Neill at first base. 12 stolen bases this season. And the 1-0. O'Neill delayed steal. He's got 13 stolen bases. So 1,000, 2,000, go.
Shuffle,
really
shuffle.
Surprises everybody.
Go. Watch this. See if he does it right. Oh, no, we just got a bad jump. That's more of a hit and run. Watch this. So if you're going to delay steal, you're going to shuffle, and go. He just got a bad jump. And it turned into a delayed steal. Not how you teach it, but it works.
And the 1-1.
So the delayed steal with the shuffle is meant to basically take your secondary, and when the catcher catches the ball, he sees you out of the corner of his eye, and so he relaxes, and then you're taking off.
And the infielders relax too.
Everybody just kind of calms down for a second, and you're off. You alert everyone as soon as you take off. I guess you could go back a step and then take off if you can run like that.
A little bit low, and it's 3-1. The Cardinals 2 for 5 with runners in scoring position last night. Tyler O'Neill represents the tying run at second. 3-2 the count. And the next to Brendan Donovan. Ground ball right side, foul. Boy, it has been some slow nights offensively here for the Cardinals. Talking with Ollie before the game, extremely frustrated with the ball game last night. They were shut down offensively.
This really never got into a rhythm. It's not like they got a bunch of guys on and didn't drive anyone in. It just kind of, would they have 1 or 2 hits all the way through about the 6th or 7th inning last night? Or even the 8th inning?
Till the 9th, yep. India won't get him and throws it away. And scoring easily, O'Neill, and the game is tied.
That's why you put the ball in play. Just didn't get a very good grip on the ball, I don't think, and try to get the ball out of your glove too quick. Sometimes that ball will go from your fingertips and just start sliding out. See what happens here.
No RBI on the play. It's a base hit and an error on India, his 9th.
Threw a circle change right there.
Another pitching change coming up at a bullpen game for the Cincinnati Reds. Pujols may not remember it, but she was here. The Chevy call to the pen. Derek Law is into the ball game. So Law comes in with a runner at first here in this 3rd inning. And 1 out, 1 on. And the batter is Tommy Edman. The first pitch. A strike on the outside corner. Ball game started with Cruz, went an inning and 2/3. Struck out 3, hit Albert Pujols. San Martin came in. And now Law. Edman fouls it back, 0-2. The lefty's hitting .278 against him. Righty's .308 in 7 games with the Reds. He's pitched well, 9 innings, a 1 ERA, walked 3, struck out 7, making his 10th appearance overall. He last pitched 2 days ago against the Pirates, 2/3 of an inning, gave up a couple of hits and walked a man. Brendan Donovan at first. He has reached base safely in 13 straight against Cincinnati, and a good cut there by Tommy Edman with Goldie on deck.
See that swing right there, even with an 0-2 count, how he sees and recognizes the ball up and away and just kind of lets that bat ride, where before he would try to pull that pitch, and talk about a lot of ground balls to second base this year. Until lately, he's been able to stay through the ball a little bit better.
A shift on the right side and an 0-2 pitch. Bounced. What a play there by Romine. Well, we saw when he was in St. Louis, albeit a brief time. Very good defensive catcher. He's been around a long time. It's a nice pick right there.
The ball either caught him or he just happened to put the glove in the right spot. But wow, that is, sometimes you got to shake your head at yourself when you're back there behind the plate.
Inside. An exaggerated shift there with Tommy Edman. Runner at first is Donovan with 1 down. A count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. So from 0-2, he's worked it full. We talked about the Cardinals, the lack of offense, and not to put it all on 2 guys, but the offense has been, for the better part of the season, that guy and then Arenado. Tommy chops one up the middle. And diving at second base head first in safely is Brendan Donovan.
Hustling the whole time. I was kind of hoping he'd just keep running, just turn the corner and keep going.
We've seen that with the shift. You got to be paying attention. Goldschmidt struck out swinging when Cruz struck out the side in the first inning. The go-ahead run at second base. He's hitting .350 with men on base this year. He's driven in 110. That's second to Pete Alonso, who's got 112. And the most by Cardinals since Albert drove in 118 in 2010. 2022 is Goldie's 4th season of 100 or more driven in. And this big crowd ready to make some noise. Backs up for his strike.
Tell you what, that play with Tommy Edman, if he hits that ball about 4 feet to the left, third baseman has to field it. There's no one at third.
Agreed. Now you got to hope that your catcher rotates on the play, and then the first baseman, after the play is completed, has got to hustle, or the pitcher to the plate.
He tried to, but I don't think the catcher can get there in time, and it's just one of those bang bang plays. But just kind of had to go back and look and see who actually picked up the ball, but that was like a couple feet either way of being a disaster for the Reds. Because if that ball is to the left, Donovan sees it. He doesn't have to slide, and then he realizes that's the third baseman there. If India goes for the ball at all, there is no one at third base, and they were both converging on the ball.
Count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. Goldie strikes out for the second time tonight. Caught him looking. Cardinals have tied it up. We move to the 4th, and it's 1-1. And that can be found at Cardinals.com/Ozzy. You get an autograph baseball. You're on the field with the Wizard. Cardinals.com/Ozzy coming up later this month. Jake Fraley, first pitch. Grounded to the shortstop, Tommy Edman, in the shift. 1 pitch and 1 away. While we have a moment, a word from Tickets for Less.
Tickets for Less, for a better ticketing experience. Best seats, best prices, and no surprises at checkout.
Here's Donovan Solano, 0 for 1. Fly to center. And the first pitch by Jack Flaherty. Taken up and in.
I like that Jack's pitching in a lot more tonight, and if that's the sign of things to come, look for him to be even better than he was. And that's kind of hard to believe, but I think the one knock that I always had on him, it was the days that he struggled the most was just the days he didn't have anything to get guys off the plate. And like you said, if he doesn't establish the fastball for strikes, they don't have to swing at the sliders because he's behind the count. Well, if he doesn't throw the ball inside either, they don't have anything to look for other than a fastball middle away.
No doubt. 1-1 pitch.
I think he's done a nice job of at least trying to get inside with strikes. He's thrown the fastball 4-seam on the corners inside and down, and then he's run some 2-seamers in there and run them off the plate, and he's got a couple swings and misses on both.
2-1 pitch. Now 3-1. Pitch count mid-50s for Flaherty as we play here in the 4th inning.
Yeah, I thought Fraley did Jack a favor right there with swinging at the first pitch, and then next thing you know, he's 3-1 right here.
And a 1-out walk. So Flaherty has walked a pair tonight. Aristides Aquino made the point earlier, Jimmy. That slider is spinning to Aquino middle outer half. He loves to get his arms extended. That could be problematic. That's the pitch there.
I would hate to say that he has slider speed bat because you can't get to this level with that. But at the same time, his damage has been done on off speed, and that is probably what, 6th, 7th, 8th fastball that's been blown right by him. So you can't keep pumping him fastballs, but you definitely don't want to throw him a slider for a strike.
Fastball again.
think if you're going to throw him a slider, it's got to be down and off the plate. You got to show it to him, and then you could just go right back to the fastball. Almost like he's guessing a little bit off speed.
And an 0-2. Got him. Chased. Strikeout number 5 for Flaherty. And there's 2 away.
Tell you what, if that's the issue right there, then so this pitch right here, this is a 2-seamer that cuts. I don't know if that's by design, but they figure out you can't hit a fastball in this league. You're not going to see off speed anymore.
He's had that a couple of times. The fastball that's cut away from the righties.
Just the pull.
There's Senzel as an infield hit. Came around to score. 2 outs and a runner at first. Check swing and a strike.
You know, it's funny. Jim Abbott made a career out of that cutter, and all he did was hold the 2-seamer in his hand a little cockeyed and throw it like a football, and it would, like a 2-seamer, it would catch the seams and go with him instead of going the other way, sinking. It would cut naturally.
Did you play with him?
Yes. I was with him in spring training like for 2 or 3 years, and then actually when he left, my second year I think it was, they gave me his number.
I still think what he did at Yankee Stadium and throwing a no-hitter is one of the great feats ever in sports. I mean, it's motivational just to watch that.
I'll tell you what, he was truly, truly amazing. And I'm going to tell you what an amazing athlete he was at the time. He was in the middle of the pitchers' bets for who had the best at bat during spring training. And he had
one arm.
One arm. Or one hand basically, and he can play golf. I mean, he was an amazing athlete. Like, it was
incredible.
And every day when Jimmy Reese was alive, he was down there in the outfield, and he would take ground balls off the bat every single day, like pretend that he was pitching, and then they would fire 1 and 2 hoppers back at him and see how quickly he could get his glove back on field every single day. And it was just amazing. I mean, the guy worked as hard as anyone, but that cutter was awesome. It was just, he was just throwing a football with the seams in his hand just a little crossed over. And that's kind of what we just saw with that pitch that Jack just threw.
That's down into the corner. Solano to third and held up.
This would have been tough to get him too.
Well, I think they did the Cardinals a favor.
Yeah, they did. Dickerson didn't get that ball out of there quick enough, and then he almost threw it. Looked like he was going to throw it to second base and kind of give up. They almost conceded that run.
Looks like Senzel's trying to say, really?
Well, kind of. I don't know if we can see it from the smaller angles, but with the wide angle here, watch this right here. I don't know if they don't really line up to home. This ball doesn't come flying out of there. He throws it, but he throws it off line. But just getting it out of the corner is the key, because that stops the third base coach from wanting him to run.
I think I got to chance that with the 8th place hitter coming up.
You're right. I mean, it didn't seem like it came out of there very, very good in general. And I guess maybe you know your runners, so.
Spencer Steer with a walk first time up.
You also have your first baseman running from first to third. Maybe it was a wise move.
Maybe. Reds are 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position tonight and 0 for 9 in the series. The 1-1 fastball and a good one. Ball is jumping out of his hand much better tonight.
It's like you can see the difference, right? It's like a couple of pitches take off, and then one, it looks like he tries to overthrow, and then you see 92, and then that pitch right there, nice and smooth and really not as much effort, and then you see the mid-90s, and he's done that a couple times tonight where everything looks free and easy and it jumps out of his hand, and then look like he tries to overthrow, and all you see is a little bit 91, 92 with the sinker.
Kept in front by Kisner. Arenado, Dickerson, and Albert Pujols due up for the Cardinals in the home half of the 4th.
I see right here, I really do think you're seeing him a mature Jack Flaherty. You know, guys learn a lot from being hurt and missing a lot of time. They watch, they listen, listen to watch the games when we're on the road.
Hit down the right field line, and it is foul.
You know, I picked up a lot of little things in '99 by not having to do the little things to prepare each day, and then watching games on TV. And I see Jack doing a lot of talking to himself, a lot of staring at the scoreboard, a lot of thinking through things, where before I feel like, you know, maybe he would trusted Yachty so much where he just got the ball and threw it. Well, now it's time for him. He's still only 26 years old. It's time for him to start understanding what he needs to do to take care of himself. And it looks like he's on the right path now.
Second and third, 2 outs. The 2-2. Popped up.
Great pitch.
Edman has it. Reds have left 4 on. Albert due up third when we come back. It's Cardinals baseball, brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the Cardinals, and by Real Steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com. Arenado, Dickerson, and Pujols coming up for St. Louis in a 1-1 game. Derek Law came on with 1 out, 1 on, and was able to get a ground out and a strikeout. San Martin, 2/3 of an inning, gave up a run, a hit, and a walk. And Cruz started the game striking out the side and went an inning and 2/3. A bullpen game tonight for Cincinnati.
Tell you what, that first pitch right there from Law is some kind of sinker.
Yep.
Straight down.
On a play. Arenado 0 for 5 head-to-head against Law with a strikeout and a walk. The shift on the left side of the infield, and Nolan hits it out to center. Senzel, and the first out here in the 4th inning. Arenado is 0 for 2, and it brings in Dickerson and grounded out to short. Pitching change coming up. Espinal coming in. Midwest Blues hockey returns October 15th, the 26th season on Valley Sports Midwest. Opening night Saturday, October 15th, the Blues and the Blue Jackets. And we'll have 3 preseason games streaming on the Valley Sports app as well. October 15th, it returns to Valley Sports Midwest. Jordan Bennington will be Alexa's guest coming up. Many of the Blues are here tonight.
You know how you said come down here and watch these guys, these 3 guys play? If you have not been to a hockey game,
it's the best.
You have to go see it in person. I mean, it is a complete different game. It'll make you a hockey fan overnight.
I've seen some hockey in my day.
I know you have. Growing up in California, I only knew one kid that played hockey, and he drove like a half hour every day. When I was in AAA, we got rained out like 3 or 4 times. And the owner of the AAA team owned the Vancouver Canucks too. Well, we were the Canadians, so the Canucks too. And he said, anybody want to go to the hockey game? I was like, sure. We haven't done anything in like 4 days. And they played Edmonton, and they were playing for a playoff berth, and I've never seen anything like it. And I was hooked. One game's all it took.
Oh, yeah. I think the Cardinals might have done some damage here potentially by getting Law out of the game with that sinker to face Espinal, who is 30 and has pitched in 2 major league games.
I'm not really sure that. Sometimes the middle of the game or middle of the inning pitching changes kind of baffled me.
Going out to make the catch, it is Farmer.
I mean, they clearly know more than we do, but.
Well, do you want Albert to face a guy with 2 major league games or Derek Waugh with that sinker?
Well, I want Albert to face this guy.
Yeah.
But
that's what I'm saying.
If I'm rooting for the Reds, I'm probably going to go with the sinker.
I mean, you had San Martin. You got him out of the way out after Albert had hit the lefty. So they have 1 lefty in their pen. He's been used. And now this young man, 25 games at AAA. Albert was hit by a pitch the first time up. First pitch to him. Taken inside and high.
Talk about hanging a slider, trying to make
That's
too
what I'm
good
saying.
of a pitch. I mean, that first pitch right there is just spinning. Let's see what you made of, kid. Tell you what, though, you know, David Bell has been, his family's been around baseball for a long time. There's sometimes a method to the madness.
The 2-1 now, upcoming to Pujols.
You said it. He's pitched in 2 games, Danny. 2 games over a 2-year span.
You might get 698 in this at bat. The 2-1 pitch. 2-2.
That's a smart pitch right there. Staying away from the fastball.
Homered 13 plate appearances ago, averaging a home run every 14. The 2-2. Got him. And a strikeout of Pujols. That's a moment he won't forget.
Another guy, probably his favorite player growing up from the Dominican Republic.
At Busch Stadium, the Cardinals celebrating Blues Night. Several fans getting the jerseys, and we have several members of the Blues with us here at Busch Stadium. Jordan Kyrou sitting with me, our special guest tonight, fresh off that 8-year, $65 million contract extension. Jordan, you must be over the moon. Congratulations. What emotions were you feeling this week?
Honestly, just through the roof. I mean, you know, it's something you dream of your whole life, right? So, you know, obviously to finally get that done is, you know, super exciting for me and obviously super exciting for my family as well.
So did you have to buy your entire team steak dinner? Is that how that worked out?
Not yet, but I'm sure that dinner will come soon.
You got your goalie, Jordan Binnington, with you here tonight, who threw out the first pitch. Let's evaluate how he did. I know you recorded it, you put it on your Instagram stories, but if you're actually, from an athletic standpoint, evaluating that throw, what do you give him?
Honestly, I think it was pretty unhittable. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, he didn't get a warm-up, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, but other than that, I think it was not bad.
So are you telling me you could have done better?
Maybe, yeah. I think so.
He's going to get you for that. You know that, right?
That's okay.
Jordan, when you talk about your season and how excellent you played, having a breakout year, and the fact that you were an NHL All-Star and then you started in the postseason as well, what can we expect from Jordan Binnington this season?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be insane. Are you Jordan Binnington or you mean me?
I'm sorry, Jordan Kyrou. Jordan Kyrou.
Well, no, but no, I mean, I think I'm just coming to this year, like, I want to take that next step, and, you know, for me, that's kind of completing my game all around, you know, not only offensively. So I think for me, that's just one of my biggest things I'm going to come into the year with.
Doug Armstrong, the Blues GM, has been busy this offseason, also signing Robert Thomas to an identical extension, that 8 years, $65 million. What does it mean when the organization locks up core guys for your confidence?
Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously they're putting their faith and trust in us for, you know, for pretty much a long time, right? So, yeah, you know, me and Tom are, you know, so it's going to be good that I can, you know, go through this with him, and, you know, we're ready for the load for sure, and, you know, we're ready to take lead.
Some of these new faces, the guys that you have here with you tonight, what can we expect from them this season? Something that we haven't seen before? Maybe a standout name that you're really looking forward to seeing on the ice?
Yeah. I think I'm pretty excited to see Levo. You know, I think he was pretty awesome in the AHL last year. So, you know, it's definitely good to meet him, and it's good to meet all the guys, right? So, you know, we're super excited for them all to be here.
When you have your guys come and support the Cardinals and vice versa. We've seen Yadier Molina at Enterprise Center and several of the other Cardinals players. What's the connection like between the two teams and the athletes that play the sport?
Yeah, I think both teams just, we support each other really well. I mean, just like you said, we come to a lot of their games, they come to a lot of our games, and St. Louis is just such a tight-knit city, and both teams, we just, we love supporting each other.
All right, be honest. Who's the Blues player that you think could play baseball the best? Who could cross over and actually be able to hit one of these fastballs?
I don't know. I might have to go with myself. I'm pretty athletic, so I'll go with myself.
That makes sense. Jordan, thank you so much for hanging. Jordan Kyrou, Blues with that monster 8-year, $65 million contract extension that kicks in next year. He's buying all the boys something special for that deal. Dan, back to you.
And not shy of confidence because he feels he could hit Major League pitching, the 24-year-old Jordan Kyrou.
Yeah, there's a couple things right there. Like, I would really love to see that. One, I think it's a little tougher than he thinks. Two, I can't wait to see them play this year. And I'm impressed. Alexa did a really nice job there with all those Jordans going around the room.
Cardinals need a double play here. Kyle Farmer at the plate, grounded into a double play back in the third, struck out. Back-to-back singles. It was Romine, Friedel, India pops to short, and now Farmer.
I think we might have to invite him down for some batting practice.
Absolutely. See what he's got. 1 ball and 1 strike. Farmer's grounded into 17 double plays this year.
It's never pretty when a player from another team, another sport, comes to take batting practice. I don't know what it is, but when I was super young, the great one came out, and he brought his lovely wife, and I still to this day joke with him that Janet had a better swing than him.
Now, his son was drafted in baseball. His son was a good player.
Son was a good player. He played up until not that long ago, and his other son, his youngest son, is a stud golfer. And his daughter is a pretty dang good tennis player, too. Pretty good athletes.
His son-in-law is not too bad either.
Yeah, he's not bad at all.
Dustin Johnson.
One DJ.
2-1, fouled back, 2-2.
Tell you what, talk about like good at your craft. We were playing golf one day, and I was on the driving range with the Gretzkys and DJ, and he was making fun of one of the kids, and he was hitting the ball left-handed, and he was like struggling, whatever. DJ said, "Give me that thing." Left-handed, grabbed a 6-iron and smoked it right down the middle, left-handed, about 200 yards, and everyone just kind of walked off like, okay, we've seen it all now.
The 2-2.
Oh.
Farmer hit by the pitch, and Cincinnati will have the bases loaded again tonight for the second time.
That one hurt.
Got him in the small of the back, I believe.
I don't know if there's anything small about this spot right here. Oh.
Inning started with Romine, a base hit to left. Friedel, base hit to right. India popped out, and now Farmer hit on a 2-2 pitch. And it's Jake Fraley. Pitch count at 82. No activity for the Cardinals in the pen. Little looper out to left, in trouble. It's down and fair. 2 runs will score. And Fraley on his way to second. Reds lead it 3-1. The double that brings in 2.
Little Freddie Freeman right there, straight up, inside out. Happened to find the corner.
And runners at second and third.
As they say, you can't throw it out there any better than that.
Cardinals have not had a lead in this series so far.
Wouldn't be surprised if the great one wasn't watching tonight. I was just here the other day. They've been spending a lot of time in St. Louis.
The 1-0 pitch to Solano. Ground ball fair. Arenado from his knees. Oh, what a play! An incredible play. Nolan Arenado. Holy smokes. That was amazing. The Allstate mayhem moment. He gets it out and saves 2 runs and one of his best of the year.
Does he throw this ball without hitting anyone?
Oh my goodness.
Nobody tries to make this play. Right over the shoulder. Great job, Kiz.
That's incredible.
You know, when he catches that ball, you're saying to yourself, this is going to be good.
Man. And now Aquino. There's so many facets to that play. Number one, just to get to it, then to have anything on it from his position. And as you mentioned, to throw over the shoulder of the runner. Give Kisner credit, concentration to make the catch, have a lane for the runner, the tag applied. I mean, that is big league baseball at its best. And the 2-0 pitch to Aquino. Attacked him with fastballs. Off speed pitch there. The 2-1 pitch. 2-2.
Well, he has to be trying to think he's going to get attacked with sliders or something, because he's not even reacting to some of the fastballs.
The next. And Aquino on a 2-strike pitch, a base hit out to left. And that'll make it 4-1 Reds.
He finally made the adjustment right there. He got to pitch up. So I was saying earlier, Danny, you can keep doing that, but you just can't keep pumping it down the middle. You've got to keep him honest a little bit. This ball just gets a little too much plate.
And Mike Maddox out with his second visit. That'll get the bullpen going. Zach Thompson grabs a baseball. Steven Matz. Ollie telling me that he'll throw Sunday. Cardinals have an off day Monday, so Sunday down in the minor leagues, and then Matz will rejoin the club as they head out west. You've got the Padres, the Dodgers, and then 2 with Milwaukee. And Matz will go into the bullpen. Dylan Carlson began his rehab assignment tonight at Memphis. And the Cardinals are going to have to come back again tonight. They only have 1 hit through 4 innings and trail 4-1. Runners at first and second. And the batter is Nick Senzel.
Problem with not piling up hits is you don't get any momentum, and then you got a couple guys trying to make up for everything at once.
Long throw for Arenado in the stretch by Goldie. First time Senzel has been retired. What a play by Nolan. Cardinals at the top right portion of the bracket there. They would have a best of 3. They would be at home against the 6th seed, and that would be the Padres. If you're 1 or 2, you get the bye. And so the Cardinals would open up at home against the San Diego Padres. Those are the teams that would be in right now. But a lot can change here in the next 2 weeks and 5 days. Showing bunt, pulling back. Lars Nootbaar face San Martin, the lefty, back in the 2nd. Espinal is the 4th pitcher used tonight. He's made 1 appearance. 1 this season in the big leagues, and that was a couple of days ago against Pittsburgh. Went 2 1/3, gave up a run. At AAA, 25 games, 21 starts, so they might be able to get a little length out of him. And that pitch taken up and in. 1-2. And the 1-2 pitch. Nootbaar with a fly ball to shallow left. TJ Friedl. And Lars 0 for 2. Cardinals with 1 hit tonight. An infield hit by Brendan Donovan back in the 3rd. They're in a rut right now offensively, no doubt about it. They had to come late, come from behind late in the games against the Pirates, games 2 and 3 over the weekend. And an 0-1 pitch. 1-1. So Thompson continues to throw in the bullpen. Looks like he's coming in. Two and 2. And the next inside. Count runs full. Kisner on deck. O'Neill walked, scored, also stole a base, his 13th back in the 3rd. The Cardinals have struck out 6 times tonight, and Espinal has his 2nd.
Sinker, like it's almost like a sinker, BP sinker, like you take a little bit off and you get a lot more run. I'm not going to give that a changeup, but pretty good pitch. That ball starts off probably what, above the knee, middle in, and ends up down by your feet.
Strike 1 on Kisner. 0 for his last 13. Sent one to deep center. Caught by Senzel. First time up. Back in the 3rd. Cardinals are trying to win the season series for the 11th time in the past 13 years against Cincinnati. Start play tonight with a 7.5 game lead. They're in the bottom of the 4th. Brewers trailing the Yankees 5-3. Kisner, a base hit down into the left field corner.
It's 2 good swings from Kiz tonight. Last at bat, he drove the ball all the way to the center field wall. That ball's smoked right there.
2-out double that brings in Donovan.
That's a changeup with that kind of movement.
No question.
And then he is all over that pitch. Maybe just a little too hard.
And here is Donovan. Shift on the right side. It snaps the 0 for 13 for Kisner. And Donovan takes a ball down and in. So the Cardinals with just 2 hits, 1 in the third, and moments ago, Andrew Kisner with his double. And the 1-0 pitch. A ball and a strike.
It's unusually hard for a changeup. You think a guy that only throws 92, 93 with 88 to 89 mile an hour changeup, almost like a little kind of rollover pitch, right? Little BP fastball sinker.
Inside, 2-1. Three and 1. Three 3-1 pitch. And the tying run will come to the plate. And while we have a moment, quick word from Great Southern Bank.
As the sun comes up on a crisp new morning, you're busy eyeing your next move. When you're ready to take on your next challenge, we'll be right there with you. Great support, Great Southern Bank.
Runners at first and second. First walk by Espinal, the second the Cardinals have received. And the batter, Tommy Edman, 0 for 2 tonight with a strikeout and a ground out. Strike one.
This is a big at bat right here. This would be, you know, another ho-hum inning if you don't score. But if you do score and you get a base hit right here, this will get you back in the game. No pressure, Tommy. You just got to get a hit here.
1 pitch. And they will not get that. Who wants it? Oh, almost a gift given to the Cardinals as Farmer makes the catch. It's a doubleheader tomorrow. We'll be on the air at 11:30, so an early start for both games. And then Sunday at 12:30, Dakota Hudson going in the first game, according to Ali. Tomorrow with Yachty catching him. Albert will be in the lineup. Minor, we're told, will be on the mound for the Reds. So let's put it in pencil, maybe not ink, but you never know.
That's exactly. I was just going to say, you never know, anything could change, but yeah, put that in pencil.
So that's it for Flaherty. Gives the Cardinals 5 innings tonight, 4 runs, 6 hits, struck out 5, walked 2. All 4 runs were earned. And now it's Zach Thompson. Something I'm going to be watching with Zach Thompson, Jimmy, is velocity. There was a game in Cincinnati he was hitting 99. Line and caught. Oh. 1 pitch and 1 out. Off the bat, a steer into the glove of Donovan. But then the following outing, he was, you know, kind of like 92, 93. It's just odd to see that much of a dip, and thank goodness this didn't catch him.
Well, uncle right here, when you hit this ball and you're out, I mean, you can't hit it any better. And I mean, they teach you to hit the ball back up the middle, and that's where you hit it on a line at 104 miles an hour, and it's just an out.
Next year,
thanks for coming.
Probably a base hit. The rule changes coming up. There's Romine, who struck out in the third and singled to left and scored. Good breaking ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. That's out of play. How would you assess Jack Flaherty tonight?
Good.
Not great, but good.
I mean, good. Like, well, obviously, there's always room for improvement. I think it was really good, actually. I just meant good. Like, I think maybe that he was a little upset after he came out of the game, but seemed to be a little trash on the floor in the dugout. It usually comes from the starting pitcher. Look at that breaking ball. But I think that if I was going to predict the future of Jack Flaherty with an uptick, I would say tonight might be that game we're going to look back at and say the maturity of Jack Flaherty started here. Just by watching him methodically go through his night, even though he wasn't perfect probably in his eyes, I think he was perfect in handling his emotions and walking himself through what he needed to do to stay on task, and I thought that was impressive.
A pitch at 99 from Thompson.
Oh, there you got your answer. Just didn't need it last time.
With 96, 97, 99 in that at bat.
And then the Clayton Kershaw hook.
He's got a good one. T.J. Friedel. Friedel tonight, top of the lineup for the Reds. Fly to right, was hit by a pitch, and a base hit to right, scored. And the 1-0. Curveball of beauty. Boy, he's got a good one. When right, it is good.
Well, I mean, if you could ever pinpoint somebody that looks like somebody else with their mannerisms and the way they throw it, it's got to be Clayton Kershaw, even the glove, but he does have that similar hook. Look at that thing. I mean, that's a big set of shoes to fill, but I played this game and I'm telling you, this is a good one. Look at the spin straight over the top.
One ball, 2 strikes. Goldie, Arenado, Dickerson due up for St. Louis. And a pitch taken outside. Three-two pitch, and he walked him. Reds received their 3rd walk tonight, 2 outs, and the batter will be Jonathan India. Tickets on sale now for potential playoff games here in St. Louis at Cardinals.com. Wild Card National League Division Series. Cardinals.com/postseason. Check on Friedel. 6 stolen bases this year. So also be an aspect of baseball next year, the amount of times you can step off like that or throw over. Then you got to come to the plate.
So you're basically just saying if you can pick over too many times, then they can just run whenever they feel like it.
There you go. Sounds like you're a fan.
Oh my gosh.
Thompson, his last 15 games with a .49 ERA for the Cardinals. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Pretty soon they're going to be like Well, you can only throw so many breaking balls per at bat. And if you get behind 1-0, you have to throw a fastball.
Hasn't gotten there yet.
Why don't we just go back to the balls from the 90s and let everyone just start flying out of the yard again and leave the game alone.
Fastball has been at 96 to 99, the highest tonight. Curveball about a 20 mile per hour difference. Runner goes, great jump, but a ground ball that's hit to short. Edman up with it. It'll make the play. The Reds have stranded 7. We move to the bottom of the 6th. Goldie, Arenado, and Dickerson all coming up. The Cardinals need some offense. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Cardinals, not to be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. We're at Busch Stadium in St. Louis, and it's 4-1 Reds here in Game 2 of the 5-game series. The first pitch to Goldie, a drive into deep left center, and it is down. And Goldie hustling into second base. And the Cardinals maybe, just maybe, get something going here on this Friday night.
Well, that's a perfect time right there, too. A leadoff double is what you need. Not a walk, not a single. You need to get these fans into it. And he didn't hit. He just hit that knuckleball out there. If he gets underneath that ball's crushed. Didn't get the backspin.
The 38th double for Goldie this season. Here's Arenado. Base hit into right. Here comes Goldie. Aquino to the plate. Safe, and it's a 4-2 game. Arenado is driven in 97. The BJC healthcare difference maker, back-to-back hits, double, now a single, and the Cardinals have something going.
There's that spinner right there, a little spinning slider early in the count. Takes advantage of it.
Dickerson 0 for 2 tonight, represents the tying run. Short lead at first. Albert Pujols on deck. They're just getting a reliever up and throwing in the Cincinnati pen. The 1-0. A ball and a strike.
He's really going to that changeup, isn't he? Throwing a lot of them. Back to back right there to Dickerson.
Joel Kuno is getting loose in the pen for the Reds. The 1-1. Dickerson out to deep left field, going back. Friedel makes the catch. And Arenado has to retreat back to the bag at first, and it brings in Albert for the 3rd time tonight.
That'd have been another changeup right there. That's 4 off-speed pitches in a row.
Espinal is now working in his 3rd inning. He struck out Pujols back in the 1st.
Well, just for the record, you see Albert shaking his head when he walked off after he struck him out. Like, yeah, okay, I got it.
The first pitch. Albert unloads. Deep left. And this game is tied. 698. Albert Pujols. 2 away from 700.
Just for the record, I've seen that look before. When you saw how long it took him to get going, he wasn't happy about that strikeout, I'll tell you that much.
Mentioned it earlier, second appearance for this right-hander in the big leagues. He got Albert the first time. Albert gets him this time.
Well, you know what he did? He went slider, hanging slider to Albert, changeup. That time, same pitch, hanging slider.
Fifth home run on the first pitch this season. Albert Pujols with number 19. He's driven in 53. Slicing the other way. This could be trouble, and it's foul. Off the bat of Lars Nootbaar. Extends his record 453rd. Different pitcher he has hit a home run against. So including tonight, 2 shy of 700 with 18 to go. The 1-2. Fouled back by Nootbaar. That one caught Romine. The foul ball. 427 feet just to the side of Big Mac land. Now the question becomes, who caught the ball?
Yeah, you got a couple more to worry about that one.
I was talking with our buddy Dick Sitzman, who is in the memorabilia business, and he was saying that his last home run could fetch $500,000 to $750,000 as he moved past A-Rod.
And he gave it back.
They gave it back.
Albert gave it back. I mean, that's crazy. I think he might have forgot about the Pujols Foundation there for a split second.
And Nootbaar hits it out of play. It was on the anniversary of a passing of a family member. I believe the young lady, her father had passed away, and Albert said this then would mean more to you, and then signed a couple of baseballs for him. Incredible.
And Todd Perry was like, ah. Todd runs Albert's foundation.
I bet Todd was like, you know what, well done.
Yeah, of course, but
for the best coverage in the game, let's check out the T-Mobile coverage cam. Pitching change coming up. 6, 9, 8. Daniel Carpenter, the lucky recipient. You can see it there where he got it. Congratulations, Daniel Carpenter, with that souvenir.
It's a big one. No glove, nothing.
Here's O'Neill. Joel Kuno, 47th appearance. Pitched 2 days ago, an inning. Gave up a home run.
These two are having too much fun right here.
He can get to 700 by tomorrow.
He was like, Yachty, you won't believe it. He threw me a spinning slider, and then I went up there, and he did it again.
It's a doubleheader tomorrow. Albert will be in the lineup when Minor is on the mound, a lefty. He's too shy now, 700. In terms of multi-home run games, he has 64 of those. That's 5th all-time behind Big Mac. Number 1 on that list, Babe Ruth at 72. And he's got another at-bat or 2 coming up tonight. The 2-2 inside. The slider, he did go in a strikeout.
Did he or did he not?
He did not. It's a walk.
Well,
I thought he went.
He pointed down, and it looked like he was calling him out, but it pointed at the same time, and the umpire at first base was so quick, couldn't even tell if he said yes or no. I think Tyler just like, I didn't go. I'm just going to stand out here.
And the batter is Kisner. As Jimmy mentioned earlier, 2 really good at bats. He's 1 for 2, fly to deep center, also a double down into the left field corner. O'Neill with 12 stolen bases. He's running and in there safely with number 13.
Not even close. Talk about those little, you call them tells, these little intel. There's a lot of guys when they come set, they won't throw over. And so when they come set, you go. And that sure looked like one of those times.
The 1-0. So home run number 698 overall. 464 as a Cardinal. 120 at Busch 3. Number 251 inside the NL Central. And the Reds, they want him to retire soon. That's number 49 against Cincinnati. 49 home runs against the Reds. The 2-0 pitch. 2-1.
Wow, look at that sinking fastball. So, key to hitting, you know he's got a great sinker. Can't swing at it. And, I mean, take a look at that right there. How do you put that ball in play? You cannot. And so you have to force yourself to not look for that sinker, stay out over the plate, and you have to take anything inside, because that is just too much run.
3-2.
Got 2 really good at bats tonight. See if he can't put together one more.
The 3-2 pitch. Ground ball left side, taken there by Spencer Steer. The Cardinals pick up 3 runs and 2 on 1 swing of the bat. Albert has tied it, and he's 2 shy of 700. Incredible. I mean, anytime you still see this, it grabs your attention. You catch your breath and you say, are you kidding me? Bonds, Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth, and a guy that is 2 away from joining the 700 home run club, the great Albert Pujols. On the year, 19 home runs. He's driven in 53. I'll be honest, Jimmy, I didn't think there was any chance. I thought he'd get some magical moments, but to get to this point, to where he'd have to get 21 home runs to get to 700, I thought you might be asking for a little bit too much.
I'm with you on the home runs. I thought he was going to hit, and I thought he would get more playing time as the year went on, as we have been talking about. But I'll be honest with you, I didn't think he would get to 700, but I thought he would get close. I was kind of hoping he'd play another year, so let's just get it over with so he doesn't have to worry about it. Says he doesn't want to play another year. Well, then let's go.
2-0 the count on Farmer. JoJo Romero, third pitcher used by the Cardinals. Thompson win an inning. No hits, no runs. Struck out 1 and walked 1. And the 2-0 pitch by Romero. 3-0. Eleventh appearance, 9th with the Cardinals. Pitched 5 days ago at Pittsburgh, a third of an inning. And there's a strike, 3-1. As a Cardinal in the 8 games, when he appears, St. Louis is 7-1. 8 innings. He's given up 2 earned. And the opposition has only hit 160 against him. He's done a very nice job. Into left center, and that ball is gone. Reds go back on top. Kyle Farmer with the home run, his 12th of the year.
Always happens, doesn't it? As soon as you start talking about a guy throwing well, ends up making a mistake right down the middle. And what happens to that in this league? It gets punished.
Plaza Tire Service pitch tracks. 410 feet, 104 off the bat.
That's a really good hitting example of why you don't have to hit pitches away from you the other way. But what you do have to do is you have to stay over the plate and go after it. He did a great job of that. Ball's up and away, and he pulls it into the gap, into the seats.
Stratton now begins to throw for St. Louis in the bullpen. And a strike, 2-1. Swing and a miss, and a strikeout for JoJo Romero. And let's hear from the folks at Jack in the Box.
Mix good sauce with my new spicy good sauce for spicy good sauce.
Donovan Solano flied to center, walked, and also grounded out. The Cardinals will have the top of the lineup coming up, meaning that you're 6 away from Albert Pujols, but he'll hit one more time tonight. And a pitch in for a strike.
Your head over there, partner?
I don't think we're ever going to see a month like this ever again. Someone going for 700. The team is winning. There's a fly ball into right. The play made by Nolan Arenado. You're watching one of the great defensive players that ever has played that position, maybe the best. Goldie could be your MVP. You've had Yadi and Wanos at the all-time battery mark. I mean, could you ask for anything more here in September if you're a Cardinal fan? Really, if you're a baseball fan.
What do I always say? How much more can you give us? No, you can't. I mean, you really can't ask for anything more, and this has just been incredible.
The crowd has responded. St. Louis was anticipating around 2.8 million fans this year. And the Cardinals are going to shatter that. Cardinals are looking at right around 3-3. It's the 23rd sellout tonight, most since the 27 in 2018. They go past 3 million in attendance for the 17th consecutive season, unaffected by limited capacity. That's a base hit down into the left field corner by Aquino. It's the 24th time overall. The Cardinals averaging 40,412 per game. And that's second to the Dodgers in Major League Baseball. And right now the Cardinals and the Dodgers, the only two to eclipse 3 million fans, and we're going to be close to 3-3 before this is all said and done. Truly amazing.
But the young lady with the ball right there?
Yes, sir.
She is probably blowing up right now on that phone.
And I'm sure security around here.
Just out of the screen.
Make sure that everybody's taken care of. We had security on the road, and they would specifically go find the fan that caught the ball, ask them what they wanted to do with the ball, but also to protect them too, obviously.
You know, a couple years ago, I remember we used to send the cat out there to do a little investigating. Well, Miss Alexa might have to start doing a little investigating.
1 ball and 1 strike.
Maybe she could start the wave one of these days too.
That's Jimmy's department.
That is, but I mean, you know, something like if I had to fill in your shoes, I'd have to do a few things for you, and so she's doing some things for Jimmy. She might have to start the wave one day. You never know. She's got some running shoes, I'm sure.
And it's 1-2 with 2 outs and a runner at second. Chabot getting loose in the bullpen for Cincinnati. Right now the difference in the game, the home run hit by Farmer. The 2-2. The fly ball lifted down the right field line and out of play. Albert Pujols right now a .730 slugging percentage since the All-Star break. It is the highest post All-Star slugging percentage of his career. He's 42, a 3-time MVP. His only other 2 years above 700 were in 04 and 08. That is unbelievable.
Never doubt the man.
And that'll be a 2-out walk. That'd be it for Romero. Gallegos has been throwing. 5 of the last 6 home runs hit by Pujols have come in the 6th inning or later. They have either tied the game or put the Cardinals ahead.
And they just keep pitching to him.
Starting 2 hours prior to every home game. You can enjoy games, prizes, free North Star frozen treats in the Ford Plaza. And it's presented by Prairie Farms. The crowd tonight, 47,118. 47,118. 27th sellout. And that's the most since the 2018 season. So runners at first and second. Spencer Steer to face the right-hander for St. Louis, Chris Stratton. Runners at first and second. The 0-1 hit down the left field line, but yanked foul. Nothing in 2. The 0-2 ground ball hit sharply to Donovan. He has it, and we stretch this Friday night here at Busch Stadium. 5-4 in favor of Cincinnati. Jimmy, it's a game of adjustments.
Oh, I wanted to show you something. Check this out. Look at Albert's face. All right. I told you when that at bat was coming up, he had that look in his eye. And what did he do? He threw him the exact same pitch he threw him the time before at the plate, and he threw him 2 sliders, a change, and 2 changeups, and he said, "Okay." Not to mention he gave a little dance off the mound, so I think that kind of got Albert's attention. But like I said, I've seen that look before, and that usually means trouble is lurking.
So the Cardinals down by a run, top of the lineup. 1 ball, 1 strike on Brendan Donovan. On base twice with an infield hit and a walk. Cruz, San Martin, Law, Espinal, Kunal, and Jabot now. 29th appearance. Pitched last night. Three and 1. Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. And that'll be ball 4. Cardinals receiving their 4th walk. 2 for Donovan. That's 49 on the season. That leads all National League rookies.
Tell you what, Danny, Donovan gets hot at the end of the year. I mean, you're not talking about a pretty good rookie season. He's hitting 287 right now.
Needs to get some recognition.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I don't care about the rookie of the year so much as just what he has done. And if he hits above 285 and the 290s to 300, I mean, that is over the top for a rookie with everything else that falls into place with him. As far as
6 different positions,
everywhere.
50 or more innings.
The defense, the base running, the at-bats, the big at-bats, the pitches that he takes. I mean, he came up with his first 50 at-bats. He looked like he'd played 20 years in the big leagues. Incredible. Incredible season so far for him, and hope he finishes strong, gets really close to 300.
A short lead at first, shift on the right side. Tommy Edman at the plate. 5-4 our score. 0-2 the count. The 0-2 pitch. The 1-2. Little flare. Shallow left and caught. Donovan back to the bag at first. Well, we have a moment. Quick word from Simon Cancer Center.
You are someone's favorite person, and your health matters. For the lives you touch, schedule your cancer screening today.
Goldie with a pair of strikeouts and then picked up his 38th double to get a rally started in the 6th inning with the Cardinals trailing 4-1 at that time. The 1-0 pitch. 2-0. Nolan Arenado on deck.
You can see some of these pitchers' demeanor change. You know, they get after Donovan, they get after Edman, and all of a sudden the slider starts getting a little bit loose. The fastball gets a little wide.
The 2-0. The 2-1. Now 2-2.
Just waiting for him to square one up again. That ball he hit off the wall tonight just missed the backspin a little bit, hit a knuckleball out there. Let's get a little backspin one more time for a homer right here.
The 2-2 inside. Since August 1st, the Cardinals own the second best record in baseball, 30-11 behind the Dodgers, and they've had to come from behind in a bunch of games. Try to do so again tonight. 3-2 pitch. Off the mask of Romine. We'll do it again.
Got the umpire too, or just the umpire? It's hard to tell from that angle so fast. Guys are taking beatings over the last 2 nights. Wow. Squared up.
Charlie Ramos, the home plate umpire, and now Adam Olson and others out to check on the home plate umpire. If you've just joined us, Albert Pujols with career home run number 698, 2 away from 700. 2-run homer back in the 6th to tie the game. Home run hit by Farmer to put the Reds back on top. It's not just history, they're meaningful home runs in the game to tie or take a lead.
I think he's hit 4 or 5 of the biggest home runs of the year.
No doubt. And a 3-2 pitch. Goldie pops it up left side. Is it playable? No.
And a lot of pitches in, a lot of chases in, a lot of jam shots. Makes it hard for him to stay on the ball out there. Remember the other day we were talking about he was a little jumpy, and then the next day the velocity was not so high, so he was really calm, but didn't get anything out of it. That was kind of in between, but they've been trying to really force him to take pitches inside. All these big guys they've been trying to go after in, but not on the plate. So just try to speed him up a little bit.
3-2 again. Goldie rips it fair down into the left field corner. Donovan is second. Donovan to third. Pop Warner waving him in. Goldie has tied it. 5-5. His second double in the game. He's got 39 on the year.
The problem with pitching and the problem with hitting is you give the guys too much credit. So you get off the ball too many times and then you start to struggle. What happens? The guy hangs a breaking ball right there for you to hit. Makes good pitches, gets you out in front, and then all the way to the end of the at-bat, he hangs a slider. All of those pitches inside and down and up and all over the place are just wasted. And professional hitters will sit and wait until they get a pitch to hit. Bullpen's been busy.
Dari Moreta getting loose now in the pen. It's been Cruz, San Martin, Law, Espinal, Kuno, Jabot. Arenado with an RBI single to bring in Goldie after a double in the 6th. Seventh game with multiple doubles in a ball game for Goldschmidt, and his first since August 18th.
I'd be surprised if they double up inside right here. I'd be surprised if Nolan doesn't go out over the plate. Well, no, it looked like they might try to go back in there.
A ball and a strike.
See what I mean? How they're trying to force them to think in. That ball might not necessarily right there try to be a strike, but he's going to try to make it seem like he's going to pitch him in so we can get him out of the way. But like I said with Goldie, you have to make that pitch. These guys aren't going to back up.
Gallegos getting loose in the St. Louis bullpen. Again inside, and it's a count of 2 balls and 1 strike. The 2-1 pitch. 3-1.
That's what I'm talking about right there. Fastball in for a strike. Fastball in off the plate. Ball. Fastball way in off the plate. Ball. Almost hit him. What does he do? 2-1. He's out over the plate. Looking for something hanging. Not even concerned with the fastball inside.
The 3-1 pitch. Arenado with a fly ball, shallow left. Friedl coming on, and it drops. It gets away. Goldie will score. Arenado to second, and the Cardinals have the lead. The 40th double for Nolan Arenado.
Hey man, the triple doesn't show up too often.
And that ball just sat there for him to hit. He was just out in front of it. They play so deep. Everyone plays so deep. It's so hard for them to catch these balls. And by the way, after last night, you kind of can't blame him for kind of coming up a little short, especially right there in the dirt.
Dickerson coming up, and then Albert. Cardinals finally with a lead against Cincinnati. Care, the world's best medicine made better. And presented by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Moretta in 26 games at AAA, 6.5 our score, was 2-4 with an ERA about 4.5. He last pitched with Cincinnati September 4th, 12 days ago against the Rockies, went 2 innings and did not allow a run. They'll have Corey Dickerson here, and then Albert Pujols, who was homered tonight. Runner at second, Nolan Arenado. And the first pitch. Dickerson up the middle, right through the legs of Moretta. And the play is made, and here comes Albert. Last time up, 427 feet, just to the side of Big Mac land for home run number 698. Everyone standing here at Busch. And the first pitch. .453 pitcher that he has hit a home run against. It tied the game at 4. Reds took the lead 5-4. Cardinals have taken a lead now 6-5. The 0-1 pitch.
That's about out there where he's aiming, where they land.
The 0-2. And Albert lifts it in the air, deep left, and not quite far enough. Friedl there to make the catch.
Career home home run number 698 tonight. I spoke with the lucky fan who has that baseball. Her name is Danielle Carpenter. She is originally from Baldwin, Missouri, here in St. Louis. She lives in South County now, a pathologist. There she is, all smiles, here with her husband, Jeff. They are celebrating Jeff's co-worker's birthday, so happy birthday, Jerry. And I asked Danielle if she met Pujols, would she give the ball back? She said, absolutely. I said, what would you ask for in return? She said, a handshake. But Dan, I said, if you knew that ball was worth $500,000, would you still give it back? Danielle said, absolutely. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Pretty cool.
That's awesome. Awesome. Well done. Some changes for the Cardinals. DeLuzio in center, DeYoung at short, Edman to second.
Attention please for the Reds, batting for goal line, number 35, Alejo Lopez.
Lopez will pinch hit, switch hitter for Austin Romine. New pitcher Giovanni Gallegos. Flaherty, Thompson, Romero, Stratton, Gallegos. What a night of baseball. Slow start, but it picked up with Albert.
Usually does.
Wow.
Or at least lately.
Ground ball right side. And the first out put away by Tommy Edman. Giovanni's been awfully good here recently. And it would set up for Ryan Helsley with a scoreless inning here. Bring him in the ninth. Top of the lineup and TJ Friedel. And the first pitch is strike. The 0-1. Nothing in 2. I think Ollie's done a really nice job giving guys rest. And in particular, talking about Gallegos, if he's not overused, he is tough.
I think this might be, and correct me if I'm wrong, and this is no shot at anyone, but this is the first time I think in a while that you could privately say publicly now that the bullpen has not been taxed because of only being able to use certain guys during even the beginning of the year. Right?
There's more depth for sure.
Well, he's also been just like, this is the guy, he has to do the job. Not like, I'm not going to let this guy pitch because I'm a little worried. I mean, he's given some guys some days where they needed to regroup, and he's made it pretty obvious. But it's not, you know, it wasn't like every time you get in trouble or every time you have a lead, it's this guy and then this guy. And then that's it. And then all of a sudden you got 2 or 3 guys that have, you know, 50 appearances halfway through the season and they're gassed. I think he's done a really nice job, and that was just kind of to reiterate what you're saying is for the first time, and you know what, you hear it around the stadium with the baseball people. You haven't heard that at all this year.
Wherever Seth Maness is, he approves. Also Mr. Bowman. Those two will run out there every other night.
I'm telling you, man, it's you just, if you're gonna have guys in the big leagues, you got to use them, and if they can't get outs, then you got to find somebody that can. I just don't I mean, there's just no other way to explain it. You can't be afraid to use guys, right? I mean, what are they here for? Might as well throw Albert and Yachty out there then. Let them pitch.
Well, they've done that.
Wasting spots. Just use get a couple two-way players. Except for they're not supposed to give up homers.
Yeah, it happens. DeLuzio is in the top spot in the Cardinal lineup. DeYoung going into O'Neill's spot, 8th in the order. And the 2-2. The swing and a fly ball out to center. DeLuzio under it and makes the catch. Friedel on base 3 times tonight. And the batter will be Jonathan India. Gallegos his last 18 games. The Cardinals 17-1 when he makes an appearance. In those games, 1.96 ERA, 18 1/3, 10 hits, and the average against him 156. And he's not walking many now. 3 walks to 19 strikeouts in those games. The swing and a miss. You think about late innings and how that burns you. Walks. Jabot comes in the 7th and walks Brendan Donovan, and he comes around to score on the double by Goldie to tie it. Nothing in 2.
I mean, just, back to your point about the bullpen, just look at the difference in Gallegos at the end of the year. The freshness, just the velocity still there, the slider's still there. He's not, the thing that always got him in trouble is when he got nervous and when the game was on the line, just slider, 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 slider. Well, one, it either gets taken or he throws a lot of balls with it. And so it doesn't have the fastball to get guys off the slider. It's no different than not being able to pitch in. If you only can throw a slider, then what is a hitter going to look for?
Jimmy, remember beginning of the year is right around that Mets series here. And he forgot to cover first base late in a game, cost the Cardinals a game, and he was very slider heavy. And then got away from that finally, and then started using and utilizing the fastball a little bit more effectively.
I feel like because of the years in the past when he struggled, he just automatically went slider, and that slider's not sharp when you're dead. It might as well not be a pitch. And the fastball has been a great pitch for him all year, so he can get to that slider and keep the hitters off of it.
Good work, Giovanni Gallegos, 6'5". Of the game, number 698. $19 home runs. He's driven in 53. Here's Nootbaar. Moreta got the final 2 outs of the 7th. He got Dickerson to ground out to short, and then Pujols flied out to the wall and left. Almost got 699.
I don't know if he's thrown a fastball yet.
There it is, and it's whacked into right.
Maybe that's why.
Nootbaar will challenge Aquino. He's got a cannon for an arm.
Ooh.
I mean, what an arm he's got.
Pretty good throw right there. I'm all over that with Newt, though. I'm in favor of that. It's a good try. That has to be a perfect throw, right on the money, in order to throw him out, especially running for second base the whole way. I mean, he's going double right there. That's a pretty incredible throw, considering he just threw it flat-footed.
I don't know how it's going to work out for Aquino as a fielder, but before it's all said and done, I'm putting him on the mound.
He's going to be on the mound.
I don't care what organization he's playing in, winter ball, whatever, but I would pull him in. I'd say, hey, I know you're having a tough time at the plate.
And it won't take him 16 different countries and 14 different teams.
But if you want to take a chance on the mound, we'll give you that shot. I mean, he has a cannon in right field. That's his second outfield assist in this series.
Flat-footed, too. That was what got me.
And his momentum going towards center. Give him a lot of credit. I mean, that's a heck of a throw.
He's had a couple of tough nights at the plate, too.
Inside, and a strike taken by DeYoung, and 2 on him now. 1-2 the count.
Can't be a strike.
So Aquino now with 12 outfield assists. Reds have 34 as a team. The Cardinals have 27, leading the way Dylan Carlson with 8. The 1-2 pitch. DeYoung pulls it foul. Looking ahead to the 9th inning, 3, 4, and 5. Farmer, Fraley, and Solano. Chucky Robinson is the new catcher.
I like this guy behind the plate.
You liked him in Cincinnati. You were saying he's athletic.
Energy, good backstop. He hustles, he works his tail off, and he blocks pretty much everything. He does everything you want to do defensively.
Lopez stayed in the game after pinch hitting, grounding out, and takes over at second for Jonathan India. Robinson going in India's spot, who made the final out in the top of the 8th. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And DeYoung, a swing and a miss. Helsley getting set for the 9th.
The other thing for Robinson, I think, as a catcher, is he's 27 years old. He's only got 30 games in the big leagues, and yet you can throw him back there with the game on the line. He hasn't hit yet in the big leagues. Just hit .091. He's a .250 hitter in the minor leagues. I mean, that's hard to do. Playing in the minor leagues as a right-handed hitter is not easy, especially a catcher.
Nothing to the count.
So yes, I'm interested to see what happens to him this winter and where he lands next year, if not in the starting lineup.
And the 0-2. The check swing did go, and a strikeout of Kisner, and that sends us to the 9th inning. Ryan Helsley coming on. Starter Dakota Hudson for the Cardinals tomorrow. A couple of starts in Memphis to keep him sharp as a starter. So 16 innings, 15 hits, gave up 3 earned. He walked 5, struck out 13. It is a doubleheader tomorrow, and Albert Pujols is too shy of 700 home runs. Find a way to get in the house. Chance to see history potentially. Game summary: 6-5. Farmer has the home run. Fraley went 1 for 4, 2-run double. Flaherty 5 innings. Goldie a couple of doubles. And home run number 698 for Albert Pujols.
Danny, 700 could come tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
No kidding. Wouldn't that be something?
It would be. I can't wait for the day. I just hope he does it before next week, next Thursday, when I'm leaving.
Ryan Helsley into the ball game. Overall, opponents hitting 131 against him. The right-handers 114, lefties 155. He's given up just 5 home runs this year. Farmer's hit a home run tonight. That was against Jojo Romero back in the 7th. Been dominant at home with 13 saves and a 5-1 record. In the first pitch, fastball in for a strike. 0 for 6 with a strikeout against Helsley. In 34 innings at home, he has struck out 47. 0-2.
It's filth. Straight filth.
Flaherty went 5. Thompson an inning. Romero 2/3. Stratton a third. Gallegos scoreless 8th, and now Helsley. And the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. It's now 6 1/3 innings against the Reds this year, and he's allowed 1 hit. They're hitting .053 against him.
I just think it's impressive. You see that fastball come out of the hand, and then the next pitch, the slider comes out of the exact same spot, and yet with no hump on it.
Fastball at 102.
You know, even for us, you could see the signs back in the day, and you could know it was coming, and the ball still comes out of his hand like a fastball until it gets almost to the hitter, and then it's not even the big break. It's just enough to not even be able to touch.
The 0-1. Nothing at 2.
I mean, Dan, if you could lay that over the top of the fastball and the breaking ball and the arm coming out of the same spot, you would see white ball all the way to right there. And then ball disappears.
Pitch tunneling,
if you want to call it that.
Cardinals have only lost back-to-back games twice since the break, trying to take game 2 of the series. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back Ks. In a hurry.
Well, it's funny because the ball, obviously you can see it coming and you know it's fast, and when you can put the relationship of the swing being so far behind the fastball, it really shows you the speed of the game, because you can't really do it justice unless you're sitting right there.
7 pitches, 7 strikes.
You know, I love that he's learned. He knows that that third guy thinks that he's going to get a fastball down the middle to get ahead, and he's done a really nice job since he gave up that home run of not just burying fastballs to get ahead. He'll use that slider to get ahead too.
The 0-1. Danielle Carpenter, the young lady that caught the home run ball. And a chance meeting with Albert is probably coming up. The Cardinals trying to pick up a win. Helsley, 8 strikes on 8 pitches. The 0-2. He struck out the side. 9 pitches. Helsley. What a night. 9 pitches, 9 strikes, and the Cardinals take game 2 in an evening in which Albert Pujols hits career home run number 698. Incredible. We're seeing everything in September. And the fun continues tomorrow with a doubleheader. Come on out. 6-5 the final. An immaculate inning, the first since Izzy back in 2002 against Houston. Incredible.